Welcome back inside the Now Morning Show. Now, the conversation, the national conversation for quite some time has been, how do we fix things going forward? How do we get our at-risk youth to behave? How do we get them to actually contribute to society in a positive manner? We might have one solution under the Specialized Youth Services Programmes. This morning, I want to welcome Major David Benjamin, who's the Director of the Specialized Youth Services Programmes. Good morning to you, Major.
Good morning, Ruckus.
How are you doing?
Doing fine.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now, I understand that the Specialized Youth Service Programs, they fall under the Defence Force, which is, and also partnering with the Ministry of Youth Development and National Service, yes?
Yes, definitely.
All right, so let me list out, first of all, what some of these programs that we're talking about are.
So the forerunner to all of the other youth programs is the most successful program, youth development program in Trinidad and Tobago, which is the Civilian Conservation Corps. The Civilian Conservation Corps program has been in existence for approximately 28 years.
Right.
We have graduated so far over 30,000 nationals.
Nice.
Right. A proud alumni. Persons are proud CCC. And that program has been in existence. It has morphed in terms of moving away from the conservation aspects to now making sure that all of our graduates are certified with CVQ Level 1 certification in a number of trade areas, over 26 trade areas that persons are offered.
Okay.
We focus on citizenship training. We focus on what it is to be, well, we could say national service, what it is to be a good citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. Very important for our youth to understand.
Yeah.
We also do life skills training, right? So it's a four-pronged approach where we have life skills, we have skills training for certification. Then we have an apprenticeship period where we have partnered with a number of state as well as private entities.
Okay.
So our graduates have an opportunity to have 2 months internship in that on-the-job training sector before they graduate from the program.
What age do people enter the CCC from?
CCC is 16 to 25.
16 to 25.
And once persons apply to our centers, they could go to TT Connect. They can go online to the Ministry of Youth Development's website. The forms are downloadable, right? And they can apply to the program. We actually right now we are just about on the cusp of graduating 900. Well, we started with 900 trainees for our graduation, which is actually this week.
Next Friday is next Friday.
This Friday in Tobago.
Okay.
And next Friday in Trinidad at Napa. Right, so 900 would have started. We're graduating 825.
Okay.
Right, and we think that for a voluntary program that's good retainance of persons, and the young people are really pleased with what they've been able to accomplish over the last 9 months of the program. We started in February,
right,
and we're graduating in November.
Nice, congratulations. It's always lovely to hear. Now, I remember you mentioned CCC as the first one, right?
Yes.
And I played that Bungee Garden Fet is Fet because in the song, I don't know if people realize, but he actually said back in the days of CCC, and he called out some sergeants and some corporals because he would have been part of the program at some point as well.
Precisely. He is one of our proud alumni, right? And big up to Bungee Garden and to all that he has achieved. And we use him as an example to our young people that you could come from humble beginnings. You could come with literally nothing to the program and make yourself something and really achieve what you set out to achieve from the onset. And there are a number of other success stories besides Bungee, of course.
But he would be one of the most popular ones everybody would be able to relate to. And because he sang it in his song is why he was able to say that, hey, Bungee went
Precisely.
All right, so what other programs are we talking about?
So in 2007, we started 2 other programs. That is the Myot program, military-led academic training, and the Myot program, military-led youth program of apprenticeship and reorientation training. Those are 2 brother programs. They run side by side in terms of the 3 programs are military-led. The difference between CCC and Myot and Myot is that Myot and Myot are residential. The young persons stay in the program for 2 years. They live with us, yes. So we have more contact time to really make that paradigm shift in behavior and allow them to really manifest all of the fullest positive examples that they can be at the end of the program. So Myot is academic. So persons work on 11 CSEC subjects. We have persons who would have graduated just recently with 6 passes. One young man got 4 1s and 2 2s.
Okay.
Right. So we are really proud of what the young persons have been doing in that program, in Myot program. We recently were reassigned the MyPart program, and we are about to launch off that program hopefully in January of next year with a small cohort of 50, and we will build capacity thereafter to have a larger cohort at the beach camp facility in Palo Seco. So the Ministry of Youth Development has been working, really well with us to advance these programs. There are a number of other programs under the Ministry of Youth Development and National Service that young people can also look into, right? But we of course we are working with them to run these 3 programs, and we are looking at the possible cohorts that can come. So it's an option for young people. If the traditional school system is not working for you, and it's not cut out for everyone. Right, 17,000 approximately persons enter the school system on an annual basis. Right, not everyone is cut out for what that traditional school system gives.
But I want to challenge you, because you say that Myot is academic.
Yes.
What's the difference between the Myot program and the school system?
It's residential, so it's similar to a boarding school. Right. So they live with us 24 hours of the day, 7 days a week. We do a multiplicity of skills. So we will do non-combat military skills. So we take them hiking, we teach them to swim, we teach them camping skills, leadership skills, working with small teams. So it's those fine skills that really impact behavior, those fine skills that impact the meaning of what it means to work with other persons, dispute resolution in small groups. So while the school system may teach some of that, we have a longer period to be able to make those skills more ingrained and have them more holistic in the lives of these young people.
They don't get to go back home and undo everything that they learned in school for the day.
Well, once a month we have a break period, so they may go. They will have a weekend off once a month, but in the main, they're with us for the majority of the period. So we have a lot more influence and contact time to be able to shift and adjust those behaviors.
And have you been able to see that shift and adjustment happening in real time?
Most definitely. It's not a perfect science, right? But what we've been able to do is through the leadership of the military instructors in the program, because we handpick our instructors, we try to get those persons who are best suited to work with young people to be able to positively influence them. So that mentorship mentee role is really critical to the adjustment. And also the teachers that we choose to be part of our education process are those teachers who have an aptitude to really influence persons who are deemed underachievers, right? So that the additional time spent in the classroom, the additional taking the classroom outside into the outdoor world as well. So it's not only what happens in the classroom; it's also what happens in the entire experience.
Of course. And are the teachers from the military, or we take civilians as well?
We hired teachers on contract, persons who are interested in working with young men and young women to come. Right? Persons who have shown experience and aptitude to work with our population. Those persons are the ones that are hired.
Okay. This is amazing. I mean, I don't think many people understand the depths and the actual process that goes into making it happen. But I'm also interested in some of the impact and the reaction, because you said you see some of the changes happening in real time. But what is the impact that we see? I mean, 28 years, you said?
28 years, Civilian Conservation Corps, 30,000 graduates.
And we have these other programs that we have in place. What is the impact on our society? What is the impact, first of all, that you hope to achieve?
A citizen that can positively contribute to the fabric of Trinidad and Tobago.
Right.
We don't necessarily want to have someone who passes all their exams and has grade 1s in 6 subjects, or comes out from CCC with a certificate in graphic design, or a certificate in computer technology, and you're not a person who could add to the positive fabric of the country, right? Because we can't graduate persons who are indisciplined, and persons who are not willing to conform to the rules and regulations of society, right? So making good citizens that's what our primary objective is.
Yeah.
The other things for me are an add-on. Those are an extra. But the critical element really is to make sure that we have persons who can add value to the GDP, as it were, of the country. Persons who can work well with others and be good citizens.
Yeah.
Be understanding of what it is to be Trinidadian and to be Ghanaian.
What is the process like to make that change happen? To get that discipline instilled? Because oftentimes I see people complaining about the youth and they're indisciplined. There's so much energy and it's misplaced. How do you focus on redirecting that energy to a more positive space?
So, as I said, we're not doing this by VAPs.
Right.
We are well schooled in youth development work, and we follow a number of theorists. So there's a theorist by the name of Lewins. Lewins' theory speaks about a three-pronged approach to working with at-risk behaviors. Unfreezing, the first stage is the unfreezing stage. Unfreezing what that person would come to the environment with. Then you work on transformation in terms of working on moving them to a different space, having them understand who they are, all of the selves, the self-confidence, the self-esteem, the self-awareness, so all of the selves, making sure that they understand who they are and what their worth is. And then the final stage is to refreeze what you've transformed them into. Right, so Lewins,
to lock it in place.
Exactly. So Lewins' theory is one of the processes that we use in all of the youth programs, right? And the Myot, the Myot, the CCC, and then we also factor in another theorist, Howard Gardner, speaks about multiple intelligences. Not everyone learns through chalk and talk.
Yeah.
Not everyone learns through rote learning, right? So we understand that some persons are tactile learners. Some persons work from the psychomotor, right? So it's really blending all of those things to bring a different kind of educational experience and meeting the people where they are.
Yeah.
And I think that for me is where the critical point is. In Myot, for example, and we want to extend this now to CCC. In Myot and Myot, we do assessments, not exams.
Yeah.
To come into the program. We do an assessment, and in that assessment, at the end of that assessment, we have a report. And that report would then go to the teacher, and the teacher uses that to determine how do I engage with this student in the classroom? What does this student need to be able to manifest his best or her best self in the classroom space? And to us, that is the best and the scientific approach. It works. Right? Again, it's not an exact science. There are some persons who are outliers.
Of course. You always have the ones that come out of the system a little bit. But the idea is that we're trying to get as many people to fit into this as possible.
Yes.
And we're trying to be able to transform a national identity to be able to present the best possible citizen of Trinidad and Tobago.
That's right.
All right. So if people want to register or want to be a part of any of these programs, how can they do so?
So we are on all of the social media handles, Instagram, Facebook. We're also on www.
mydns.gov.tt/youth development. It's on the screen. That's the reason I was able to read it so quickly.
Right?
But let me say thank you, Major Benjamin, for joining us this morning, and congratulations on the work that you've done so far.
Thank
and you and your team continue to do. The nation appreciates it, and we don't realize how much we appreciate it, but we definitely appreciate it.
Yes, and we really want to encourage all of the young people who have looked at these programs and think that these programs can assist them. We are heavily subscribed, but what we do in CCC, we look for the persons who are most deserving of the program. So if you have 5 O-levels already, you may not get into the program.
Right.
If you have no levels, you have no other opportunities, then that program is for you.
Okay.
The MyPart program, similarly, if you've been through the school system, but you've not achieved anything, then that program is for you. Similarly, MyPart focuses on the tech VOC. So we will focus on mathematics and English language, and we will also then work on 2 years of skills training at the advanced technician level, right? So we have a number of opportunities for young people that they could subscribe to.
Yeah. So get in touch with them. The youth development, well, you can head across to MyDNS, and they will give you all the information that you need. That was Major David Benjamin, Director of the Specialized Youth Services Program, joining us to chat a little bit about some of the programs that they have and how you can be a part of it. Let's take a quick break and come back with more inside the Now Morning Show. When we come back, Unique Not Different is happening. Stay tuned.